I'm on stage here instead of our friend Erika Kirk.
That's right.
Because unfortunately, she has received some very serious threats in her direction, which is terrible.
Candace Owens replied, said, "Stop, this is exhausting. You pulled out because of bad ticket sales. The Secret Service sits above your security team. Were there actually a viable threat, the vice president would not have continued the event. Your closest threat is the shit public relations team you hired that continues to operate under the delusion that they are smarter than the public. They aren't." Israel now has their lowest favorability amongst Americans of any point in history, but for young men under the age of 50, Israel's favorability has absolutely cratered. Take a look at this. This is ABC News. I don't know. It's one of them. Take a look.
They have very much shifted away from Israel. Look at this. Net favorability of Israel among men under the age of 50. In 2022, not too bad, but not too hot to trot either at -3 points. By 2025, again, down we go, -22 points. That is a 19-point shift in just 3 years' time. But it gets even worse. Look at this for Israel. -47 points. That's a 44-point shift away from Israel on the net favorability amongst young men who, of course, shifted massively into the Republican column back in 2024, and they have been shifting away from Israel over the last 4 years.
Let's go. Okay, -47. Look, you guys, that's pretty good. My young men in America, that's pretty good. We can do better. We can do better. Those are rookie numbers. Let's get those numbers up. We need -107%. That's what we need. Okay, anyways, the reason why I'm showing you this is because, it just so happens that unless you're like a Fox News, a Mark Levin listener, you're above the age of like 89 years old. No hate to our senior citizens, but this is just how the world is right now. Unless you're like 89 years old and you're only slightly cognizant and you have partial hearing in one of your ears left, there's really not a whole lot of people who are very happy with the idea or excited the idea of, say, going to a TPUSA event and listening to JD Vance and Erika Kirk lecture you about why you must support the state of Israel and why you must go die for the IDF in a pointless war that really has created negative ramifications for us in Iran. Right? No one really wants to do that anymore. So we're getting video clips like this. This is from last night at a TPUSA event where JD Vance was speaking. He was interrupted. Let's take a listen.
So if you want to complain about what happened in Gaza, sir, to complain about what happened in Gaza, why don't you complain about Joe Biden and the last administration? We're the administration that solved that problem. And by the way, not only was our administration like the administration that solved the problem, but the president. Excuse me, sir. Right now, you see more humanitarian aid coming into Gaza than it has any time in the past 5 years because we have taken that situation.
Yeah, you guys actually stop complaining. I know Israel's still doing like drone strikes in Gaza. I know they're still killing civilians in Gaza. They've now occupied about 60% of Gaza. Literally, they just annexed 60% of it. They said that's ours now. Yeah, okay, so what? They've bombed every bridge from the south of Lebanon into the remainder of the country, and they're currently, mass slaughtering Lebanese civilians. They've killed like over 2,000 of them in just a few weeks' time, and they've injured probably over 7,000, 8,000 of them, and they're occupying entire cities in the south of Lebanon now. They plan to annex all of that territory. Okay. But, it's better than Biden, right? Oh, yeah, sorry. Can't forget all of the innocent children, women, men that we've murdered in Iran. 168 schoolgirls in elementary school in the first day. Yeah, you know what? Maybe he's right. Maybe they are murdering children. Yeah. Excuse me, sir. We're actually better than Biden. Yeah, that's not really why people elected you. They didn't elect you to be just better than Biden. People who voted for Trump and JD Vance, I'm sure, probably wanted them to be like a lot better, like reverse the course of what Biden was doing. Instead, we just have a continuation of the problems, some new problems, and an exacerbation of the old, you know? Also, this was another moment we had during last night, JD Vance speaking at the TPUSA event.
On the one hand, again, I like that the Pope is an advocate for peace. I think that's certainly one of his roles. On the other hand, how can you say that God is never on the side of those who wield the sword? Was God on the side of the Americans who liberated France from the Nazis? Was God on the side of the Americans who liberated Holocaust camps and liberated those innocent people from, those who had survived the Holocaust? I certainly think the answer is yes, and I agree. Jesus Christ does not. I agree. Jesus Christ certainly does not support genocide. Whoever yelled that out from the dark, he certainly does not. I think that's pretty easy. I think that's a pretty easy principle. Okay, so here's a guy. Let me just say this. This is a guy. No. First of all, random dude who's shouting. Can I finish my point and then I'll respond to what?
It's not really your point when it's being dictated to you by Netanyahu, right? Jesus doesn't support genocide, he says, but he is now claiming that somehow bombing over 168 schoolgirls at Manab in Iran, that is on par with, equal with the righteousness of the defeat of Nazi Germany. That's what he's trying to tell you. Or the 40 schoolgirls that they murdered who were playing volleyball on the first day of war at a sporting complex in Iran. They killed them all. That is somehow the equivalent in moral justification to, the defeat of Nazi Germany. That's what he's trying to say. Listen, no one in their right mind wants to get lectured by JD Vance, this retard who doesn't know anything about anything, handpicked by Peter Thiel, got plopped into this position. Literally, no one wants to deal with this shit. And that's why there was actually almost a completely empty audience at the event. Imagine the vice president of the United States speaking, and maybe 1,000 people there, maybe. Look at this. Maybe 1,000 people there. That's crazy. Less than 25% of the seats were filled for JD Vance at the Aikens Ford Arena last night at the TPUSA event. Now, it wasn't just that the citizens and the former Trump supporters probably around who live around the Aikens Ford Arena didn't show up. It was also Erika Kirk, who is slated to be the one asking JD Vance the questions in this sit-down event at the TPUSA, gathering that no one showed up to. She was supposed to be there. She didn't show up either. And this was the justification provided by Andrew Colvett, if you can believe it. This is incredible.
Mr. Vice President, I'm on stage here instead of our friend Erika Kirk.
That's right.
Because unfortunately, she has received some very serious threats in her direction, which is terrible. It's a terrible reflection on the state of reality and the state of the country. Mr. Vice President, I'm on stage here instead of our friend Erika Kirk.
That's right.
I don't know if he expected the whole audience to go, but the truth is, I'm sure no one actually believed that. When I first heard this, I was like, how does that make any sense? So the vice president of the United States is there, but Erika Kirk can't show up? The vice president of the United States, all the Secret Service is there protecting JD Vance, but somehow it's not safe enough for Erika Kirk? Like, if you're going to come up with some bullshit lie to try and, explain away the lack of Erika Kirk's presence, her last minute cancellation, can we come up with something a little bit better than it's not safe for her, but yes, JD Vance still is going to be there on that stage? They have local police, they got state troopers, they got Secret Service, they got literally everyone you can imagine protecting that place, and Erika Kirk says that it's not safe enough for her. What are we talking about? Come on. Now, Candace Owens ripped into her for this. Let's take a look. Erika Kirk said, I was so looking forward to being at tonight's event at the University of, Georgia? Yeah, University of Georgia, with our Vice President, JD Vance. But after all our family has been through, I take my security team's recommendations extremely seriously. Thank you to our amazing Georgia chapter for your support. God bless you all. Candace Owens replied, said, stop, this is exhausting. You pulled out because of bad ticket sales, which is beyond evident when you look at the video that we showed you earlier. For the same reason, TP Faith had to reschedule the Pastor Summit and various other events quietly. People don't believe you and don't line up for you because you struggle to tell the truth about even the most basic facts. Where is the video of Charlie appointing you as CEO weeks before his death? The Secret Service sits above your security team. Were there actually a viable threat, the vice president would not have continued the event. Your closest threat is the shit public relations team you hired that continues to operate under the delusion that they are smarter than the public. They aren't. Yeah. Apparently, Baron Coleman posted this, said, went to TPUSA event in Athens, Georgia. This is a text message he got from a journalist. Erika was supposed to be interviewing Vance. COVID came out and announced Erika was receiving death threats, so she didn't come. Insinuated it was because of Candace and folks like you. Worth noting, Secret Service was there for JD on top of countless state troopers, so probably the safest place to speak in America right now. Extremely cringe and awkward. Colvett tried to milk it and it wasn't landing. Place was empty. 1,200 people at most. Pretty wild considering the vice president was there and it was an arena. Very low energy. I went to the TPUSA event in Auburn prior to the Candace investigation and it was completely packed and like a rock concert. That energy is gone. One last one. Erika Kirk pulled out of her event last minute with Vice President Vance citing threats. This is PR horseshit, obviously. He is now doing the event alone at the University of Georgia. What do we think about the real reason she pulled out? Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I'm sure they were just embarrassed. Or who knows? Who knows what it was? Clearly, Erika Kirk is not afraid of public humiliation rituals. She's done plenty of them, like the one with Barry Weiss. So it's definitely not what they said, though. Before you leave, I want to say thank you for the support, because after 2 years of being banned, we are finally back home on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe to our channel and also join as a member on our channel using the link at the top of the description. I rely on the generous support of viewers like yourself to get the truth out to as many people as possible. You can also support the show on Locals or Give Sin Go. The mainstream media and the powers that be are never going to stop attacking us for bringing the truth to as many people as we do. Thank you so much for your support.